We are previewing Manchester United's next match against Newcastle United, sir. Newcastle in the Premier League. United are dying for a win after loss under Ruben Amorim. It is the holiday season. Fixtures are coming thick and fast. We're coming off a rough 2-0 loss to Wolves after Bruno Fernandes was sent off early in the second half, and United now looking down the gun of a situation where they need to get a win. Newcastle are in fine form. Team that we thought, teams looking outside of Europe, that we were in the same situation as they are. They have hit the ground running this season under Eddie Howe. He's turned the ship, and they're moving up the table, and United are falling faster, stuck between where we are, West Ham and Everton, just the teams you do not want to be sandwiched in between as we almost look down halfway of the EPL season. But either way, we need a win. We need a result. It's at home, but it's Newcastle, and they're fit and firing. How we feeling? How we doing, sir?
Manchester United are fighting relegation. We're fighting. That fight starts with Newcastle at home. Absolutely brutal season. Sacked one manager. People getting nervy about another. Everybody's losing their minds. Manchester United, what a time to be alive. Newcastle United, I never thought I'd be nervy about this one. We went from new manager bounce to don't get embarrassed. So that is the rule. You can lose, but you cannot get embarrassed. You can't stop running. You need to try hard, and you can't concede more than 3. Like that, we're in you're probably going to lose, but don't get embarrassed territory, which is incredible. Now, what's even more insane is Ruben Amorim doesn't have a give up bone in his body, so we're playing the same way, and we're without Bruno Fernandes, who should be playing in the 2 and won't feature there. So Garnacho's got to come in and start most likely, which I think is a good thing. I feel like the manager's kind of kept him out a little too long, and he's been a little stubborn with that rotation. So I'm hoping this comes with new ideas and we get the dead cat bounce. You can only play so bad for so long before something goes your way. So maybe VAR, maybe a set piece that we score. Who knows? Praying to the footballing gods, please let the bleeding stop at home on Monday.
No, absolutely right. You don't want to find yourself in a position where you're worrying about getting embarrassed. But at this point, he has his style of play. He's going to do it. He's going to go out there, and I think we have to put together a team that's going to be organized, that is going to work hard off the ball, and just try and limit the damage. I don't want to think Newcastle are that far ahead of us, but they are. They're playing well. They've recruited well. They have players that score goals, and United are just dying for that. So you compound with the fact that they are super dangerous in the box. They're also great from set pieces. They're huge. Bunch of units, that team. You got the Burns, those big old heads. So United are going to have a big challenge. It's going to be a challenge for the manager as well. I hope the fans are up for it because we need a result. We need to get a win, and we need to see what kind of grit this team has got. Like you said, I have to agree. I think Garnacho has been, he's trying to get a point through to him. He's a stubborn manager as well. I think all good managers have to be stubborn, but we need him, and he is a better attacking option than Anthony and some of these guys, so we have to rely on Garnacho. He's a hell of a player, and he's got to come good under this manager as well, because right now we don't have many people putting their hand up ready to go out there and take their moment, sir. It's a lot of people just shying away from it. No, put your hand out. We don't need you. We got to do better.
Put me in, coach, sir. But before we break down this game, let's get into a quick PSA for the podcast. Like the American Devils, check out our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Smash the subscribe button below. It matters for this small channel. We're getting off the ground, getting the best hot fan takes out there in a time of need. Fans are dying for some reasonable takes on this horrible club. It's been a ridiculous 10 years. So please help our YouTube channel out and spread the word. So also check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/AmericaDevils. We do an extra podcast every single month. If you want to go the extra mile, support the podcast, help us do things like YouTube in the first place, check out our Patreon page. Also check out our store, grab some merch. We got the trucker hats. We got beanies. Sir, you're rocking the hoodie. It looking pretty sharp. Support the America Devils podcast, americadevils.store. Also check out our website, americadevils.com, for the greatest Muppet takes on the internet. And don't forget to leave 5 stars on iTunes and Spotify. Smash the like button. It is free. What are we talking about? We're talking football. We're talking crisis. We're talking Manchester United, sir.
Welcome to the show, sir. Welcome to the circus. Like you said, subscribe on YouTube. Check out our Patreon. Check out our store, sir. I was wearing the knitted hat. We shine in the winter. I know this team ain't shining over the holiday fixtures, but our gear is made for the cold weather. The blanket is top. The hoodie is top. And it's all top, sir. So check out the gear. You know who's not top is this Manchester United squad. Let's get into this game, sir.
Monday, December 30th, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're playing Newcastle on Monday night for some reason. It's Monday Night Football. We want a proper roast here. United, 14th in the league. Newcastle, Eddie Howe's men, they're flying. Newcastle, 5th in the table. United lost 4-1-1 in their last 5. Form is dreadful.
We beat City. That's our win.
If you don't laugh, you'd cry.
You would indeed, sir. We're playing where else? We're playing at the Theatre of Dreams, sir. Old Trafford.
The Theatre of Dreams.
Theatre of Dreams. That is the name. Trademark. It's trademarked. And it's been a theater of nightmares.
We started this podcast, sir. We started this podcast 7 years ago. We thought we were just going to be winning trophies. Winning. We didn't start a podcast because we thought we were just going to be failing miserably for 7 years. We started a podcast because we thought we would just be like, winning all the time. Why not watch this team win all the time? Because life is great as a Manchester United fan. Just kidding. It is not.
It's not
14th.
Great.
Let's go. We're not giving up, and neither should you.
It's the greatest club in the world. We will be back. And guess what? If you join in 2024, 2025, no one will ever question that you're a fair weather fan. I'll tell you what, you need to be a fan to endure this weather. It's going to be light and breezy, 11 degrees Celsius. It's going to be low 50s and cloudy. Chance of rain, sir. Where are we eating on Alex's Scran Watch this week? We're eating at the Laundrette. It's one of those trendy spots, sir. Pizza and burgers. You know, it's got to be average. Look at this. Looks all right.
Give it a double. It looks right down the fairway.
Right,
you can get a pizza. You can't really mess that up. I like that.
Look at these people. They look like they're having a great time. I wish I was there, enjoying myself as well. So that is the Scram Watch. Let's get into Newcastle United, sir. I'm taking over your job because I'm running the pod room today. Why not? You do a better job than me anyway. So Newcastle United FC, since the formation of the club in 1892, when Newcastle East End absorbed the assets of Newcastle West End to become Newcastle United, the club has played its home matches at St. James Park. The team's traditional kit colors are black and white striped shirts. They have the referee kits, of course, sir. That's how I first identified when I played FIFA 99 back in the day. Crest has elements of the city coat of arms, which features 2 gray hippocamps. Before each game, the team enters the field to Going Home, with Bladen races also being sung during games. And, of course, they're owned by Bonesaw PLC. Finished last season in 7th, and like you mentioned, they're currently in 5th. Newcastle United, sir. Newcastle United. There you go. Richest owners in football, apparently. That's what they like to sing.
Look, Eddie Howe is a good coach, and, they've definitely spent well. Dan Ashworth was the director of football at Newcastle and built this team that's about to come to town and cook us, and we just fired the guy that built this team. So what are we doing?
What are we doing, bro? What could go wrong, sir? Eddie Howe. He's like probably exactly what they need right now. I think they're following the playbook. What the playbook is like, you build brick by brick and you get yourself an Eddie Howe. He is the 47-year-old English manager. We know him well. We've heard about him quite a bit because he's been, attached at times to the United job. He had a success at Bournemouth. That's where he really made his name before joining Newcastle in 2021. And how does he like to play? Like fast-paced, transition-focused style play. Big press. That's one of the big things that is kind of inherent in every Eddie Howe team. They like to press the target's opponents early in the attack, so that'd be great for United. Full of playing with confidence, playing out of the back at home. They like to exploit transition and break quickly when they get the ball and they catch United off guard. Perfect. That sounds another place where United could be caught vulnerable, and then counterattacks as well. They're also very threatening in set pieces. They've got units at the back. They've got a lot of size. So, like you said, they're an astute team. They've been buying and selling well. Summer signings, it was a muted summer from Newcastle. It actually got their fans in quite a tiff because they thought the Saudis would be spending big summer after summer, and they only had about an $8 million net spend. Biggest signing was Lewis Hall, highly rated left back out of Chelsea, and then a couple other youngsters never heard of, sir. So they pulled it back a little bit in terms of how the spending has gone after like the big money Isak summer a couple years ago, which was a good one. I'll tell you what, he's been flying. Speaking of flying, sir, let's get into form. They've been in killer form. They beat Aston Villa 3-0, bro. Just smoked Unai Emery. They beat Ipswich 4-0. They beat Brentford 3-1 in the EFL Cup quarters. They smoked Leicester. They did lose to Brentford 4-2, but then they also held Liverpool 3-3 in a really good match at the beginning of the month, and they've been in really good form, sir. Really good form. They are just licking their lips at the chops of beating up on big old Manchester United.
Well, they're due for laying an egg. That's like
due for laying an egg. They're due. We're due to play well.
No, but this is a new Newcastle side. They used to kind of be, frisky with the Longstaff brothers, maybe hitting a banger, drawing us while we went away, and now they got sprinkling Tonali, Isak, Gordon, and Harvey Barnes as well. They got some legit players now and depth. So this is a totally different Newcastle team. And if you thought you were nervy for Wolves away, to be worried about Newcastle at home.
Wolves
unfortunately, we're staring down the barrel at two more L's. And in my opinion, this is just, we got to get to January, start wheeling and dealing. That's the only thing that's going to save us is we're probably going two more L's in a row. So let's just get out the hot sauce, get out the salt, pepper, season up the L's, begrudgingly just eat them.
Let's eat those L's. Sorry.
Just eat them. Life's about that. If you just can eat the L's, you'll be better for it.
We got L's.
Stop whining. Stop complaining. Just eat them.
I think we got Southampton in January, so we just got to get to that. We got to get through these L's. This will likely be an L. So let's talk about recent record. We have won 92 times against Newcastle. We've drawn 41. We've lost 46. First game was 6th of April, 1895, Newton Heath against Newcastle. We won 5-1 in League Two, but recently not so bueno. We have only won 2 and lost 3 ever since that big League Cup win. Only a year and a half back, sir. But
we would take it, that's a big win. That was a big win.
No, that was a big win.
Win a trophy.
That was a big win, absolutely. But it's been much harder to come by, and they've been in fine form while United has been falling apart one month at a time. Exactly. Speaking of recruitment, great recruitment, sir. We're talking players to watch. It's Alexander Isak. He's not a youngster anymore. Now he's hitting his stride at 25. The Swedish striker that they bought from Spain would have been a great target for Manchester United. He scored 11 goals and 4 assists in the EPL this season. Proven goal striker, having a hell of a season. And he's going to be someone to keep an eye on. Let's get into that 11. They like the 4-3-3. De Bruyne played for Manchester United briefly, sir. I don't think he featured, but he was on our squad. And like you said, they've got quality all around that team, right? Trippier, the right back, Schär and Byrne, excellent center back pairings, Gamarsh, Tonali, Jolinton, Murphy, Isak, Gordon. It's we take a lot of these players, sir.
Yeah, Byrne's proper bridge to roll.
Yeah.
Proper bridge roll.
This is the kind of recruitment that we would have expected under Dan Ashworth over the next couple of years. This is what we needed to build before you went out and bought kind of your high flyers. So it makes sense. The formula does seem to compute, even though if it didn't compute for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, sir, the ref watch, Simon Hooper. He's got a bottler. He's had some big calls. He's had some big bad calls, especially a City bad call a little earlier in the season. He hasn't done a United game in too long, so hopefully he has a quiet role to play on Monday Night Football, sir. Like you said, let's get into the 11. This was the 11 for United against Wolves the other day. What are your changes, sir? Let me get into that 11 for people listening in. We had Onana, of course, in net. Back three of Martinez, Maguire, Euro, Delo, Mainu, Ugarte, Mazraoui, and then Fernandes, Diallo, and Højlund. Obviously, Bruno is unavailable because of his red card, sir. But what changes are you making in that starting 11 for Newcastle at home on Monday Night Football?
Oh, that midfield, the Mainu Ugarte is kind of killing me. You need fresh blood there. I don't know if Casemiro is the guy to do it. Maybe you put Eriksen in there. That even sounds crazy as I say it because, you need someone who can manage the ball there. I feel like the buildup is so nervy. That's why Bruno playing deep is better for this team. So maybe I'm going to go absolutely just bonkers. Put Eriksen in the midfield and Garnacho in the front three. You got to play Højlund and Diallo. That's the best front three you got. Keep everything else the same unless you get De Ligt back, which it doesn't look like it. So I'm rolling with that Eriksen and Garnacho coming in.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Garnacho. I agree for Bruno's spot, but I'm going to do Ugarte and Casemiro as my holding midfielders just to give some extra steel so we can try and hang on to that game, sir. Let's get into the bookmakers making the money. Dollar, sir. The odds. Ooh, the odd makers. What are you smoking, mate? Give me some of that. They're barely the favorites for some reason. These odds are crazy. Plus 180 for United at home, plus 260 for the draw, and plus 140 for Newcastle to win. I think that's nuts, but hey, what do they know? I'm up. I'm calling a loss. I'm calling a big loss. I think it's going to be 3-0 Newcastle, and that might be generous, sir. What do you think about our game on Monday against the Toffees?
I'm going 2-2 thriller. It's going to be a draw. United is going to outperform. Newcastle is going to underperform. Not quite a win, but we'll get a draw. Trying to be a little optimistic here because it could get pretty dark, especially against the Scouse Bastards coming down the pike.
They are coming down the pike. These games are coming thick and fast, sir. And shout out to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for making yourself available on the road. I appreciate it. Shout out to the wives doing hard work, keeping the pod going. Sorry, you just flashed the glass at the wife. Let her know.
Let her know. Like I could eat all day. Like like I'm a dog. Put me in the midfield for Manchester United. We need some dogs. We need some grit and spit in there, sir. Come on. It's like this team's so soft. It's crazy. We got to burn it all down. We got to build it up again. And mark my words, when this team's flying and we're winning again, there's no better club to support in the world. And we're going to let everybody know, sir. And it's going to be amazing. And we're going to be going over there in the away section with our boys, just like absolutely loving life. But we got to eat these L's for the foreseeable future until that happens. And I back Amram because I think he's a special manager and we got to give him time. So we can't do this, the normal turn and burn on this guy. I'm worried about Enos and Sir Jim, though. They seem like a bunch of morons. Like everything they've done is like they seem like morons. Like
they're not.
Sucks.
No, they're rash. They like make good decisions and then they get rat. And then they get rat. What they do is they get herky jerky. They made directionally
firing Ashworth is
it was that is what I'm talking about. Hiring in the first place was a great decision. He's the right guy to go after. He's exactly who we needed when we needed it. And then guess what? He got a little frustrated by the results. He's like, "You're fucking fired!" Like he's just too fucking like big dick billionaire guy.
Yeah, so my point is like when it comes to the long-term prospects of United, I thought Ineos were going to be part of the solution, and I don't know if they are.
No,
but
I
like
don't.
Nice would also show you that they did not do a good job, and the fact that they fired Dan Ashworth is like the worst sign.
It is.
Like there's a lot of things like getting rid of Sir Alex Ferguson and like horrible optics like that. Okay, fine, whatever. But like then you
this
add
actually
up,
matters.
Firing the guy who built this Newcastle team that's going to come in and probably cook you. It's a tough pill to swallow, but sir, that is it. That is the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? American Devils .store. Support them up at Take. We need your support. Subscribe and like below. Comment below. Everything helps the video. It's free. Why don't you help us get found by other Muppets by hacking the YouTube algorithm? So please do it. Also check out our Patreon page. You want to go the extra mile, support the pod. I'm glad to do these pods on vacation because we're going to be back, baby. And it's going to be amazing. It's just going to take a little while.
It's going to take a long while, sir. But like you said, we will be back. And when we're back, it will be as sweet as it comes because it's the best fan base in the world. You got the best history in the world. And when we're flying, there ain't no better feeling in the world. So I can't wait. And we're gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna be a long road back. I think it's a lot. It's like look at my bro. We've only been shit for 11 years. We could have like another like easily a decade of shit eating. So strap in, don't go nowhere. We'll be with you every step of the way.
Good.
American Devils, good. Yeah, you know what? Weeds out the week. I'm ready, baby. Number one, how you doing?
Gonna keep talking about how we eat shit for breakfast. What do you like?
The American Red Devil fans don't because they're the greatest fans in the world, and they keep us motivated, keep the lights on, and we couldn't do it without you. Number one. Top 10 cities last 7 days: Houston, Texas; Dublin, Ireland; Chicago, Illinois; Los Angeles, California; New York; Brooklyn, New York; Melbourne, Australia; Manchester, England; Atlanta, Georgia; and Seattle, Washington. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you. We've seen it all. We won the lot. We're Man United. We're never going to stop. Appreciate every one of you. We'll see you all next time.